The fifth installment in the Scary Movie franchise is due out this week to the delight of absolutely no one. It is merely the latest in a series of spoofs churned out to diminishing creative returns. These films are not funny is so obvious as to be hardly worth mentioning. Far more worthy of attention is the question of why. The format certainly has potential. One common complaint is that these modern spoofs use specific topical references, tying themselves too closely to their source material. This is certainly true, but it needn't necessarily prove a hindrance. After all, Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein paid so much homage to Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein that were it not a comedy, it would be outright theft. And that film is a comedy classic. Maybe the problem is that they only reference contemporary films, but the same was true of Airplane, which took its premise and its tropes from the now-defunct Airport franchise, and yet is still considered one of the funniest films of all time. While any of these elements, handled badly, could produce the dismal results under consideration, neither is beyond redemption if the requisite thought and effort are applied. Knowing this, the consistency of these modern spoofs' awfulness boggles the mind. There must, we are forced to conclude, be a more basic common denominator. The answer, it seems, lies in a comedic theory proposed by the recently departed Roger Ebert. In his words, a man wearing a funny hat is not funny, but a man who doesn't know he's wearing a funny hat, now you've got something. People trying to be funny are never as funny as people trying to be serious and failing. Take Airplane, the closest cousin of the modern movie spoof. The late Leslie Nielsen is the funniest and most memorable part of an already quite funny and memorable film, precisely because he is able to deliver preposterous lines with such stony-faced conviction. The entire film operates by this philosophy. The plot is not inherently funny, neither are the characters, but the movie is hysterically funny, precisely because the plot and the characters are trying to be so serious and failing so spectacularly. The spoofs of the new school, in contrast, are just men in funny hats. Every joke is telegraphed from 100 yards back, as if to make sure that no one is unnecessarily surprised by it. Without any seriousness to set it against, the relentless silliness fails to elicit anything approaching laughter.